boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? So, hey, it's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. How about that? It's Thirsty Thursday. The weekend is upon us. We almost through with that, nonstop grind of the work week. So it's well overdue for us to go on in and make a liquor store run, man. So y'all just come slide through the door, and you pull you up some, and we're gonna get drunk on the Dallas Cowboy content together, man. So we got a lot of exciting topics to talk about. We're gonna talk about offensive line play. We're gonna talk about some off-season news and rumors and things like that. Because remember, it's June the 29th. We still got about a month or so, give or take a couple of days, until the training camp starts. We got, the supplemental draft does not start till next month. So, we got a lot of time to just cover all our bases, and get all our ducks in a row. So we're going to talk about a couple things that intrigue me. I'm going to get y'all opinions on it. And we're just going to rock out, have ourselves a good time, man. I got about an hour or so to give y'all. So, I think we got enough time to get a good show in. Get y'all some good content that we can get intoxicated on, before the weekend gets into full effect. But on your way into the liquor store, man, I need y'all to do a couple things for your boy, man. First and foremost, I need y'all to hit that like button on your way in, man. Hey, real quick, though, before I go through that spiel, let me show y'all some love. NLZ, yeah, I see you did the right thing, man. NLZ done tapped in. He dropped 6 of them things this time. Man. So, hey, he did the damn thing this time. He used to come in with the 5-star. I told him he got to drop 6 because, we're going to get 6 championships this year. I see my boy Fish82 done stepped into the building. What's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Justin Kitchen, what's good with you, man? Thank you for tapping in, rocking with your boy the way you been doing, man. Salute to you. Bruce got the toxic juice, done ran through the door. I see you, my boy. What's up with you? My boy Joe done said, what's up, Henny? Sharing your content and pushing that like button. I definitely need that help, man. Thank you for the love. Q Ball, what's up with you, man? What it do? Yeah, man. So, hey, everybody on the way into the liquor store, y'all know the usual drill and protocols. First and foremost, hit that like button. We're trying to manipulate this algorithm so more folks will find their way into the liquor store. Then, hit that share button. You share it to a couple groups, you share it to your social media. You let folks know the liquor store is open for business and they can come in and place their orders. Then third, but this is not least, I need you to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan. Because if you slap the shit up out of an Eagles fan, man, you will receive half off all the merchandise inside the liquor store, right? And we got we got what you need to succeed. So I know you need that discount, man, because we got cow burritos, we got gin, we got Modelo, we got even got Eagles tears, man. We even got the dreaded Eagles tears. That stuff is a step down from fentanyl. So, be careful with that. Just get that. It's like just get that as something to put on your shelf for decoration or something, but don't drink Eagles tears, man. That's a fan base of people that eat shit. So, you do not want that going into your body for real. Now, Joe said, now I'm doing the same thing on YouTube, sharing and pushing that. Hey, man, you a real one, my boy. Hey, I appreciate the love, Joe. And also, man, one other thing I want to keep y'all notified on, man. We are still doing this Cowboy ticket raffle. We're still going to send 2 of y'all to see this game. And then another lucky contestant is going to get a PlayStation 4 or a Dallas Cowboy jersey, whichever one they decide to choose. So the first place winner is going to get a ticket. And that ticket is going to be attached to a seat. So you can go kick back, relax. You only got to jump up and down when you want to. You can chill and just sip on your cow burrito in peace and enjoy the Dallas Cowboys blowing the doors off of the Philadelphia Eagles. Then the second place winner is going to get a ticket to the same game, but it will be for general admission. So you can just slide through standing room area, but you can still rock out and have a great time, with the rest of the fan base. And then, of course, as I mentioned, third place winner is going to get either this PlayStation 4 or they will get a Dallas Cowboy jersey. If you don't play games, of course, I'll send you a jersey. If you don't want no jersey, you want that PS4 to go, then, I will send it to your front door. But, that's the raffle right now. You got all the way up to August the 1st to get your entries in. But and remember, it only takes one entry to win. It only takes one entry to win. I know some of y'all might get intimidated when you hear, some of the other folks how many entries they have, but it is drawn at random. It's a random selection. The more you send, it improves your odds, but it's not guaranteed. You can send one entry in and still get an opportunity to win the grand prize. So if you want to support the raffle or you just want to support the content, hit that Cash App with $Hennythemoor or hit those super chats or super stickers. Hey, see Nicole, I see you sliding through the door. Salute to you. My brother King G done tapped in. Salute to you as well. Brian Bradford, what's up with you, man? Isaiah Young, what's good with you, man? Thank y'all for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. And we finna go ahead and get drunk together, man. Cool, let's do it. All right, so let's start with offensive line play. Because, for some reason, certain fan bases and certain members of our own fan base believe the Dallas Cowboys have had this dominant, immovable offensive line, right? They think that the Dallas Cowboys have one of the best offensive units, in the National Football League in terms of offensive line play. And if we're being honest, right, that sounds good. That sounds lovely. I wish it was true. But the Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been compromised for several years at this point. It's been compromised for several years. Now, granted, I don't think we have the worst offensive line in the National Football League. I believe there are worse offensive line units. But Dallas Cowboys have not been an elite offensive line for a very long time. Matt Leslie, what's up with you? Miss Regina Green with the green, what's good? Thank you for sliding in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to you. So listen, I was arguing on Twitter, but I actually screenshotted. I'm finna share one of my tweets because I put some numbers in it. That's why I'm using it for context. And I said last year, talk about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line was ranked 28th in pass block win rate. Right, and this is a metric that is kept by ESPN. Now, of course, with any metric in any grading system, it is not 100% perfect. What's up with your S.A. Richburg? Salute to you. Thank you for tapping in and showing love. I see you dropped the 6 stars because we're going to win our 6th championship this year. Salute to you. Hey, what's up with you, Michael H? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, man. I see you, my boy. So, 28 pass block win rate. That is not good. And remember, like I said, every grading system is flawed. Everyone has, it's qualms. You can get your qualms with it. But, judging by their metric, the Dallas Cowboys pass block win rate, meaning, how long it took them to hold up in pass protection. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 2 seconds. If you lose in under 2 seconds, it's a loss. So they say that they were ranked 28th in that regard as a unit. Pressures, they were ranked 14th. That means there were 13 teams ahead of them that allowed less pressures, right? So they're outside of the top 10 in terms of pressures allowed, right? So let's start with that. There's 27 teams that the NFL or ESPN deemed to pass block better than the Dallas Cowboys did last year. There were 13 teams that gave up less pressures. So they were not top 10 in pass block win rate. They were not top 10 in pressures allowed, right? So they gave up pressures according to the ESPN's metric. They were losing in pass pro at a very high percentage. When you look at pressure percentage, which is how often a team won against them, they were 18th, right? This is how often that they allowed pressures. When you average out the amount of times they won to the amount of times they lost, over the entire body of snaps they had in pass pro. There were 17 teams with lower pressure percentages than the Dallas Cowboys offensive line last year. So let's just go down the line again. 27 teams pass block better, than the Dallas Cowboys last year in terms of win rate. 13 teams gave up less pressures than the Dallas Cowboys did last year. 17 teams had a better pressure percentage than the Dallas Cowboys did last year. And the Dallas Cowboys, I didn't put the number up here, but I remember it by heart. The Dallas Cowboys allowed 52 quarterback hits. So the offensive line allowed your quarterbacks, whether it been Cooper Rush or whether it been Dak Prescott, they allowed 52 total quarterback hits. That means even though the ball was gone, the defense landed a legal hit on your quarterback 52 times. 17 teams allowed less hits on their quarterback last year. What's up with your Lee? What's up with your Keystone? Desmond Ironman tapping in, showing love. Salute to you. So this notion that the Dallas Cowboys have a top 10 offensive line, right, when they give up, a high hit rate, they give up a high pressure percentage. They were not top 10 in pressures. They were bottom in pass block win rate. But somehow, magically, because Dak Prescott is a wizard inside the pocket and he was able to avoid sacks, all right, Dallas Cowboys offensive line, they did give up the fourth fewest sacks in the league, right? They gave up the fourth fewest. But when you look at everything else, you look at the times the quarterback was hit, you look at the time he was pressured, you look at the pressure percentage, you look at pass block win rate. This is not a good offensive line, bro. Like, just flat out. I be trying to sound educated. This line played bad. This line played bad, and people like to overlook it. And the thing that I always find is like fan bases and media have no issues, in discrediting our units and things like that until it's time, to give Dak Prescott credit. The Dak Prescott is one of the reasons why the Dallas Cowboys, did not give up that many sacks. He navigated the pocket well. We know he's a mobile quarterback. The ball came out of his hand pretty quickly for the most part. So he was able to mitigate some of these issues, right? The play calling, when Cooper Rush was in there, was able to mitigate some of those issues. So we ran the ball in such a high clip when Cooper Rush was there. But this offensive line in pass protection was not good. And, you can point to Tyron Smith being gone. You could point to the offensive scheme where there was a bunch of slow developing routes with these option routes and downfield passes that Hennythemoor were trying to attempt. You could point to things like that. But at the end of the day, no matter how you slice it, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line did not play well in pass protection. Is that, are the big networks even mentioning the pass block win rate? Well, no, they don't mention. They do not mention it on the air, but they mention it because the pass block win rate is an ESPN stat. That's an ESPN metric, just like QBR is an ESPN metric, right? So they have analysts, they have people that study all this stuff, right? So they are the people that are actually behind the scenes are aware of it. It's just that the people that they let get up there and talk, the talking heads, the people they put in front of the teleprompter, they're not going to mention it. There's no real money in talking about actual football. Let's just be honest. Like, you get more, concept breakdowns, you get more film study, you get more of that for your independent content creators than you ever will, these big, letter networks. That's not what, that's not what get views. They're not what get clicks. You got people calling other players ass on national television over there at those big networks. They don't actually, they don't actually content create, they clickbait. That's what I like to say. Jazzy Jeff, what's up with you, man? So, that's one of the things about offensive line. The offensive line, was not good last year. And if you go back, the pass block win rate among our offensive line has not been good in several seasons. This is not like it's something that happened overnight. We have all seen the turnover on this offensive line, for years at this point, right? Because even after 2016, 2016, you could say we had one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League. Then we lost Ronald Leary, and we never really replaced him. Then we know what happened with Travis Frederick, him not being able to stay healthy, him having to retire, due to his illness. Then we brought in Connor Williams, and Connor Williams didn't work out, and now Connor Williams, plays for an entirely different team, right? Hold on. Common Sense Lab. Okay, okay. So Common Sense Lab, you do actually have. Okay, so yeah, Common Sense Lab, you do have some supers that I'm going to add into your overall raffle entries. So you sent, let me see, 5, 10. Looks like you sent 15 in total. Yeah, look like you sent 15 in total, so that got you an entry and a half. So it's Common Sense Lab, you're $5 away from having 2 entries. But I'm gonna go ahead and get your update in here, man. I appreciate you for letting me know and showing me, because sometimes I do miss them. So if you're seeing something and I don't see it, just remind me, and you have my guarantee that I will get you, properly entered into whatever you enter for. So Common Sense Lab, I got you. Boom. You was in the dough. So I got you at 1.5. So salute to you. Right. And then all those then Collins. Collins got hurt. Well, Collins got hurt, came back, played bad, got suspended, all kinds of different things with Collins. Then he ended up on a different team. So there has been a lot of turnover, on the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Nobody will ever tell me that was Kellen Moore. As a matter of fact, I will bet you 12 months from now we will talk about how much like the Cooper Rush led squad will play. Hey, appreciate your Common Sense. So now you got 2 full entries. So salute to you, my brother. Thank you for the love and the support, man. And if y'all want to be like my boy Common Sense Lab and improve your odds of winning the Dallas Cowboy tickets, y'all hit that Cash App, y'all hit those super chats, y'all hit those super stickers. So salute to y'all, man. Yeah, Collins, and listen, by the end, Collins was getting outplayed by Terrence Steele. And then, like you mentioned, Tyrus Smith has not been healthy. He only played 17 games in the last 3 seasons. So in the last 3 years, he's only gave you a season worth of games. So, there's all these different things, that have kept the offensive line from being truly great. What's up with you, Mickey? Thank you for tapping in. So, yeah, you think about it. Tyrus Smith has only played 17 games in 3 years. They never properly replaced Ronald Leary. You lost Travis Frederick due to his illness. Collins didn't play well, and so you let him walk in free agency, right? Collins, fell off, and then you had to replace him with Terrence Steele, and he ended up on a different team. There's a whole bunch of things going on with this offensive line. There have not really been any continuity with the offensive line. So when you see these stats, and I don't know who all was late coming in here, but this is what your offensive line did for you in Pass Pro last year. This was your offensive line last year. Just for, in this case, anybody missed it, I see some folks sliding in right now. I just want to bring this back up just so y'all can see it. Last year, your offensive line was ranked 28th in pass block win rate, 14th in pressures, 18th in pressure percentage, and 18th in quarterback hits, meaning there were 27 teams that pass blocked better, 13 teams that gave up less pressures, 17 teams with a better pressure percentage, and 17 teams that gave up less quarterback hits. So you were not a good pass blocking team by any metric. outside of actual sacks, which is not really a metric of how well you pass block. Because if my quarterback is running for his life and he has to throw the ball away, it's not a sack, but you still effed up, right? Just because the quarterback is able to get rid of the ball, or just because they're able to step up in the pocket to evade pressure, does not mean the offensive line is not getting his ass whooped. And that's what's been happening a lot. Yeah, Lael was playing good at one point. No, that's not middle of the road. The only place they were middle of the road in was overall pressures, but when you look at pressure percentage, they were bottom half in that. You look at pass block win rate, they were bottom half in that. You look at quarterback hits, they were bottom half in that. So there's not really much that they were successful at, man. Outside of actual sacks surrendered, and like I said, that is not really on. That's not really even on the offensive line, because the quarterback can mitigate some of that. The scheme can mitigate some of that. And DP Johnson said it very well. He said, and the quarterback who got his hand broke because of a bad year throwing pick sixes, and it's all on him, right? Exactly. And hey, you can say what you want about Kurt Warner, but he said he don't care about interceptions like that, man. He said, how can you say to Dak Prescott? And I love Kurt for this. He said, go watch his video about the interception breakdown he did on Dak Prescott. It's 2 parts. He said, how can you say that Dak Prescott, played bad football with 17 interceptions when Kurt Warner said Kurt Warner won the MVP with 22 interceptions, right? So how can you say that Dak Prescott was playing bad with 17 interceptions, but Kurt Warner had an MVP season with 22 of them things, right? Doesn't make sense. Bad narrative. He said it's a bull-ass narrative. And I agree with that boy on that, man. I agree with him on that. He said, if they were at least middle of the road, wouldn't be as concerning, right? But your pass blocking is not holding up. So hopefully there are 2 things that are true with the offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys this year. Hopefully, one, they're healthy. We know that Tyron Smith has not played a full season since like 2015. We're over that. I'm not expecting him to play a full season. I'm just trying to get as many games from him and all the postseason games. If I can get 10 regular season games and every postseason game from Tyron Smith, I'm fine. I will find a way, to limit the impact of him being gone. I will find a way to limit the impact of him being gone. Right? So let's just do it with that. I will find a way, right? Because I need him. At this point, we did not go out there and get a tackle. We did not go out there in free agency or the draft and pick up a tackle. We stood pat. We brought him back. We incentivized him playing. Hopefully, it works out in our favor with that happening. Right? With that said, hopefully that they can stay as healthy as humanly possible. And you can hope that the offensive scheme helps mitigate, some of the pressures, some of the quarterback hits. Because in the West Coast offense, the ball is going to come out, about 2.5 seconds or less. You want the ball out around 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3, ball out. 1, 2, 3, balls out. There's going to be a lot of 3-step drops, a lot of 5-step drops. In Schottenheimer's system, there's going to be a lot of power run, a lot of zone run concepts, a lot of play action, a lot of things, to disrupt the pass rushers. A lot of good reads, easy reads to get the ball to your playmakers in space. If y'all tuned in last night, we covered a bunch of these different offensive, concepts. We talked about mesh concepts. We talked about Yankee concepts. We talked about flood concepts and smash concepts and all these different things, in the West Coast system to give your quarterback easy reads with a purpose. We talked about Dagger, right? We talked about all these concepts and can help the quarterback, go through pure progression. They're going to be just a pure progression, First person should be open. If the defense takes him away, the second person should be open. And then, you can either look for your third option or run at that point. So there are several things that you can do, throughout with play calling, with offensive scheme to help out your offensive line. Yeah, Miss Regina Green, let's do that. Let's get the likes. Let's get the likes right. Let's get the likes right. So right now, let me go to back to my channel, see what we looking like. Let me see. So as of right now, I got 25 likes and I got 37 people watching. Now we got 26 now because I just liked it, right? I just liked it. So we got 27 likes at this point. Let's see if we can get them up a little bit, man. And also, everybody just came in. We're still rocking with the raffle. You want to enter to win yourself a Dallas Cowboy ticket. To see them beat the hell out the Philadelphia Eagles live and in person. To hit the Cash App. To hit the super chats. To hit the super stickers, all of the good stuff. If you want to enter. He said in Kurt Warner's breakdown, he mentioned Dak not having ease. Yes, he did. And listen, that's why I'm not as critical of Kurt Warner when he does these breakdowns as other people. Because one, he has a relationship with Dak Prescott. I'm sure a lot of the things that he says on film, he had personally told Dak. Right? Like him and Dak Prescott have a relationship. So they talk. Secondly, he is fair. He has numerous times before, when the national media was calling Kellen Moore a guru, he was destroying his concepts, tearing down his play design, calling horrible. He did all that. So he does put a proper amount of blame on Dak Prescott because quarterbacks throw interceptions. Right, that's part of the job. That's part of the job description. You're gonna throw some picks, you're gonna make some bad decisions, so on and so forth. But Kurt Warner is fair, right? When it's Dak fault, he says it. When it's the scheme fault, he says it. When it's the wide receiver fault, he says it. So I don't really have a problem with Kurt Warner because he criticizes everything that he sees on tape. But yeah, JC, thank you for tapping in and showing love, my guy. Salute to you. Yeah, make sure you let me know your schedule, man. We might be able to get a show in sometime, man. You might be able to get a show in or something. But yes. But overall, man, like the scheme. True. Yeah, I think Kurt is fair for the most part. For the most part. I don't agree with everything he says, but for the most part, I think that Kurt is fair. Because I don't think it's from a place of malice. All right, bet. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with my boy tomorrow. He'll be doing Fans Fridays over there at the lounge, man. So y'all make sure y'all go over there and show support to JC and them, man. Always making good content, always good vibes, man. So you make sure you slide over there and you show my boy some love, man. And that is pretty much the issue, right? That is the one wrinkle that we are hoping fixes itself with a scheme change. Because option route, quarterback got to be right. The quarterback has to be right. The wide receiver has to be right. So, there's a lot of different things. There is a lot of different things that go into play, when it comes down, to who was right, who was wrong, in that offensive scheme. With a West Coast offense, it's all up to the wide receiver to be where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be, and it's up to the quarterback to get the ball out on time. And that's it. You can throw with way more anticipation. You can get through your reads, quicker. It gets you an opportunity to get back to the scramble drill. Instead of waiting for an option route to develop, you can take off, break containment, and run if you're a mobile quarterback like Dak Prescott. Hey, no problem. Hey, thank you. Matt Leslie said happy 4th to me and everybody else, man. So salute to you. Salute to you. Do you think money is going to play more into who they keep? No, and I'm gonna tell you why. No, because the Dallas Cowboys have money. If they were desperate and distraught, trying to find a way to pay the bills, if they were, taking out loans on top of loans, and they got money. The Dallas Cowboys got $20 million in the bank right now today. They can clear anywhere between 26.2 and $39 million with a Dak Prescott extension. You can cut Michael Gallup next year or trade him and save almost another $8 million. Right. Then the salary cap goes up next year. The salary cap goes up next year. So, you got all the opportunities in the world to clear. So isn't that the excuse for Zeke? The excuse for Zeke is league-wide, they are trying to bend over the running backs. They're trying to bend the running backs over league-wide. Right? Because think about it. Dalvin Cook got cut. Ezekiel Elliott got cut. They made Aaron Jones take a pay cut. They franchise tagged Saquon Barkley after he probably should have been Offensive Player of the Year. They franchise tagged Josh Jacobs that he led the league in rush. They are just bending over the running back room in general. And we're honest about it. I don't want to say the word collusion because then they can get me for slander and libel, all that other stuff. But it's just funny to me that the entire league and every owner is undervaluing the running back position at the same damn time. I'm just saying. I'm just saying I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. So yeah, they had the money to keep Zeke because remember, you could have saved $6 million by restructuring Zeke, keeping him on the team, keeping his 12 touchdowns, and keeping his pass protection. You didn't have to cut Zeke. You could restructure Zeke and save $6 million. But instead, you cut Zeke. Yeah. And listen, I would take Kurt Warner, a 2-time MVP, word over Dan Orlovsky's. I got a guy saying Dak Prescott a pretty damn good quarterback that won 2 MVPs, and then I got a guy that ran out the back of his own end zone. I don't know. I think I'm going to listen to MVP because remember, last time I checked, for as much as people say that Kurt Warner not a Dak Prescott fan, he was pro paying Dak Prescott. He said he earned his money. He broke down by how he makes second level throws. All these other different things. He spoke glowingly about Dak Prescott, right? Action Pal, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. He said, if MG13 and Cowboy after this season, it will hinge on what they get out of Tolbert and Simi. Man, listen, this is one of the most simplistic offenses in the world. Not that I'm not saying that it's I'm not saying that these people are dumb or anything. I'm just saying it's a very simplistic offense. 9 times out of 10, Tolbert and Simi will look good if they get opportunities. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Because listen, you don't have to guess. Let's go through this dagger concept one more time, right? Let's go through the dagger concept one more time, right? So everybody is running a route with a purpose, right? The guy that's labeled Y right here attached to the line, right? They're gonna run this little in route, very short in route. Running back gonna come out the backfield, run a little slant route out the back, little flat route out the backfield. And then the stars of the show in the dagger concept is this interior vertical and this dagger behind it. This guy, the interior vertical, is gonna clear space for the dagger, and he's gonna throw the ball right behind him. It's very simple football. You're gonna run a vertical. You're gonna run a vertical. The reason you're running a vertical is to clear out space. You're gonna run a dagger. You're gonna go this many yards and then break in, so you have a clean throwing window for the quarterback. Everybody know what they're supposed to do. It's not I'm either do this or the defense do this or this safety is shaded this way. I got to do this. If they press me, then I got to alternate to this route. It's nothing like that. And that's really what it was with an option route offense. Just because you know, there you just have to figure out what the defense is doing and try and try to adjust to it in an option route. Because you got like 2 or 3 options in your option route. You can either sit it down, or I can go vertical, or I can run a skinny pose. Like, there's too much shit in an option route. Right here, I know I'm gonna clear out space for kinfolk. I'm gonna run the dagger. I'm gonna be the primary option. If my primary option, the dagger, is not there, then I can take a check down. In Mike McCarthy's offense, on the other side, on the left side that you're seeing, instead of a vertical, a lot of times he's like using a slant. So there might be a slant in behind it. But either way, you will get, very quick progression read. First progression is going to be the dagger route. If the dagger route is not there, you can either dump it down to your check down, or if you got a backside option like a slant or something like that, that could be your second option, depending on how they got the play design. So it's very simple. So you won't have to worry about a lot of things. If you run your route and do your job, the ball will find you. Basically, what I'm trying to say. He said one breakdown can blow up the whole play, and that is true with every offense. That is true with every offense. But you have options still, right? So let's say they don't carry. Let's say that they don't follow the guy on the clear out route. Let's say that they sit. Well, the guy running vertical is going to be behind the defense at that point. You can chuck the ball down there, right? If they do carry, you can throw the ball to the dagger. If they take the dagger and take away the vertical, you have a check down. You actually got multiple check downs because you got 2 short routes. You got this little route right here, and then you got the running back out the backfield. And since that's Tony Pollard turns check downs, into first downs because he got that speed and burst. And then, like I said, instead of a vertical route on the backside, they could also have a slant if they wanted to. That's usually what Mike McCarthy likes to do from his days in Green Bay. So the beautiful thing about the West Coast system is it gives you easy answers, to the defense. It gives you easy answers and alternatives to the defense. So you may not be able to get the home run ball, right? Because you drawing up the dagger route. You're drawing out a dagger concept to get about 15 yards. You're drawing up the dagger concept to get about 10, 15 yards. Right? That's about how deep you're going to run the dagger. You're going to run about 10 yards. You're going to run about 15 yards. But, just because you can't get that big chunk play does not mean there's not a play there to be made. And since you can run all these concepts from varying different routes, from varying different packages, as you see right here, it's being ran, out of look like an I formation, right under center, one running back. No, I'm sorry, it's being ran from a single back formation. So you can run this from pistol, you can run this from every single shotgun, you can run this play from whatever personnel package that you want. So it gives you options on how you want to carry out the execution of these plays. So yes, like defenses get paid money. They will win sometimes, but West Coast system is designed to be very simplistic, designed to give you very simple answers to how to counteract what a team is trying to do to you. And that's the thing. If you got simple answers, that means you're not going to hold the ball that long. If you know where this person is supposed to be. He said, yeah, exactly. No clear out might be the difference between completion versus yak and a touchdown. Yep. And that's really what Kellen Moore lacked in his play design is, man. Kellen Moore lacked, he has some deficiencies in his play designs. Right? Let's just keep it real. And that's probably not going to be the case when it comes down to what we're trying to do this year. But, hopefully the running game is going to benefit from the fact that we're playing in a West Coast system, right? Hopefully the pass pro is going to benefit from the fact that we're playing in a West Coast system. Because these pass pro numbers these last couple of years ain't been worth a damn. They ain't been worth a quarter. They ain't listen. The offensive line ain't played good in terms of pass pro. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I don't want to sound negative because I got nothing but love for my Dallas Cowboys. But they got to be better. If we want to be a championship team, you can't be this bad protecting your quarterback. You can't be this bad at protecting your quarterback and expect to be a championship team. Because remember, when we played the 49ers in 2021, our offensive line gave up 20 pressures, surrendered 5 sacks, and I forget how many hits. But they got destroyed up front by the 49ers front 7. So we will not win a championship unless our offensive line protects our quarterback up front. That's the only way that we'll be a championship contender. And it starts up front with that offensive line that has not played well. So hopefully, them staying healthy and a scheme change, can help them out. T Smooth, what's up with you, man? Thank you for sliding through the door and showing love to the liquor store, man. So moving along, man. Moving along. We're going to talk about a rumor real quick. Facts, Q-Ball. So we're going to talk about a real quick rumor. And I'm going to get y'all opinions on it. So this is an NFL rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Because remember, it's the end of June. There is nothing real newsworthy happening. So, people just be coming up with stuff, pulling stuff out their ass, and all different kind of stuff. We could really be interested. We could not. Who knows? But this is the rumor. Cowboys have been mentioned as a team that could be interested in Falcons running back / wide receiver Cordarrelle Patterson if he becomes available. Right? So this is the rumor. Hey, I love the rumors too, Michael H. I love rumors because let them tell it we finna get, let them tell it we finna get everybody under the sun. They said that we were in the running for DeAndre Hopkins. That was a lie. They said we was in the running for Dalvin Cooks. That was a lie. Right? So you got to love the rumors. But this is a more realistic rumor than the other stuff. Because Cordarrelle Patterson is not going to be an expensive player to acquire. He's probably going to get cut. He's probably going to get cut. He's getting older, but he is still a very, versatile player, a very explosive player. Matter of fact, let me just go take a look at Cordarrelle Patterson's stats last year. But they actually found a way to get him involved in the offense for the first time in his entire career. So, he is known as a return specialist. He's so let's take a look. So crazy thing about it, Cordarrelle Patterson, is a big dude. People don't really think about it because he's a return specialist, but he's 6'2", 220 pounds. He's a pretty big dude. Last year, they used him as a running back / wide receiver. Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with y'all good people so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, he definitely can play running back and he can play wide receiver. But let me go ahead and share the screen with y'all so y'all can look at his numbers with me. Because, I like rumors. They funny. But, I always like to, approach them and try and learn something. Because some people know who Cordarrelle Patterson is, but they don't really know his game. Because, a lot of people just remember him from when he was a return specialist early on in his career. He had a whole bunch of return touchdowns and different things. He won a Super Bowl with New England when he was there for a year. So they know him from things like that. They know he's an all-pro returner. But he's been getting involved in the offense these last couple of years. So 2021, when he went to Atlanta, right? This is the first time that they utilized him as an offensive weapon. He had 618 yards on 153 carries, 6 rushing touchdowns, average 4 yards a carry. So he got real production as a running back. Then he had 69 targets, 52 catches, 548 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So Cordarrelle Patterson ended the 2021 season with 11 total touchdowns and over 1,100 yards, all purpose. Right, so he balled. That boy balled. He balled in 2021. They tried to do pretty much the same thing, last year. They still got him involved. He involved. He actually had more yards rushing. It's just that his passing numbers went down because, of course, he did not have Matt Ryan throwing him the ball. So he still had 95 yards rushing last year. He did rush for a career high 8 rushing touchdowns. And even without Matt Ryan, he still put in 122 yards. So he's a decent offensive weapon. He's a decent offensive weapon that can do a little bit of everything. He said that's not saying much, so did Ronald Jones. We will not speak on Ronald Jones. But listen, I think that Cordarrelle Patterson is a better overall player than Ronald Jones is. And I think he's more versatile. He's much more versatile than Ronald Jones. Because for his career, right, let me go to his returns. He has 9 return touchdowns in his career. Right, he has 9 return touchdowns. That's big. That's big. If I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me see. Most return touchdowns in league history. All right, so actually Brian Mitchell. But he's up there on the list. Brian Mitchell had the most return touchdowns with 14. Yeah, Cordarrelle Patterson is top 10 in league history in return touchdowns. So he has a lot of versatility. He can be used as a return man. He can be used, as a situational runner. He can be used as a situational receiver. And a beautiful thing about it, if he can't give you much, you're not going to acquire him for a lot of money or a lot of capital. You still got Malik Davis. You still got Deuce Vaughn, right? You still have the opportunity to add another player if he was to go to the IR, because that opens up a roster spot. So, and remember, I always talk about the Dallas Cowboys training staff. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the best medical staffs in the National Football League. They're actually an award-winning group. They were able to keep Randall Cobb healthy, for the most part. They've been able to keep Malik Hooker healthy after him having numerous career injuries where he was at, right? So all these guys that had injury issues before they came to the Dallas Cowboys kept them boys healthy. So, if you got an injury history, Dallas is the place to come. If we're just being honest, Dallas is the place to come, because they always find a way to keep those guys healthy. That's why that's why I'm down on our players that stay hurt. Right, the players that stay hurt for us, you have no opportunity of staying healthy anywhere else, because we're the best. We're the best in the business of keeping guys healthy. So, that's why if you have an injury history with the Dallas Cowboys and you're already here, yeah, you might just really be snake bitten. With the Bears as running back first, which is probably true. Let me see. But listen, if it's for a bag of peanuts, you know what I'm saying? You never shy away from adding an extra weapon, especially one that is a luxury. It's a luxury to add Cordarrelle Patterson. We don't need him to step up and be our lead back. We don't need him to step up and be our lead receiver. We really don't even need him to step up and be our main return man. But he's big, he's fast, he's athletic, he's explosive. He averaged 4.8 yards a carry last year. He had almost 700 yards on 144 carries last year. He had 8 rushing touchdowns. I'll get Cordarrelle Patterson. I'll bring Cordarrelle Patterson in. You know what I'm saying? It probably won't cost much. And listen, I agree. I would bring Zeke back. I'm not opposed to bringing Ezekiel Elliott back either, because there are things in our offensive room, in our running back room, that we need. You know, I still like I told Professor O, I know that teams have had success with nothing but scat backs before, but you know, I treat that just like a condom, a gun, you know, or money. I would rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. All right, I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Right? So I would rather, just for a peace of mind, you know, have a power back or a bigger back on the roster. Him not even sniff the field because the other guys are playing good. Then those other guys go out there and don't show up and not have an option on the bench waiting in the wings. That's just how I feel. What's up, Jenny Herrera? Thank you for tapping in. Willie T said no to Patterson. Well, if we're being honest about Patterson, I don't really know what his pass blocking are like. I will be something I have to take a look at the film at. But you know, I can really see Patterson being surrounded by the weapons that we got. We got a Brandon Cooks, we got a CeeDee Lamb, we got a Tony Pollard, we got a Michael Gallup, we got a Disson, a Dat, and a Dak Prescott throwing in the ball. You know, I could see him being utilized, and a Turpin. We got a Turpin too. So I could see him, you know, having an effect on an offense like ours, especially with a creative play caller. With a good play caller, I should say. Because you don't have to be creative. You just got to know how to get the ball to your players. So, yeah, he's a weapon. He's a weapon more than he's a true running back. But I'm fine with that. Because he's a big-ass dude. Because he is a big-ass dude. So, you know, I don't mind kicking the tires on him. I don't mind bringing Ezekiel Elliott back. I don't mind the Dallas Cowboys, you know, wanting to get a little rich, get a little fancy, spend some money on Dalvin Cook. I don't care. As long as you go out there. Mika said she honestly feel like Patterson would just be taking up a spot. It's a possibility. No, it is a possibility. But it's also a possibility that he can go out there and beat one of these guys out. So, you know, because the Dallas Cowboys got two, you know, because they got two open roster spots, because, you know, you need 90 people to go into training camp. They only got 88. They're going to have to sign somebody pretty soon. They're going to have to add some pieces. They're going to have to add somebody. So you got two open roster spots right now. So, you know, either you can go back, you can go quarterback, so you can find somebody to push Cooper Rush or push Will Greer. You can go offensive line. You can go kicker. You know what I'm saying? But you got two spots. You got two spots to play with. She said, I'm not on the Zeke train yet, but I'm going to keep seat reserved. We need to pick it for Zeke. The more, the closer and closer that it gets to training camp, the more and more, you know, I feel a little naked without Ezekiel Elliott on the team. Right? I feel a little naked without Zeke on the team. But, you know, when you're used to having somebody on the team, you know, for almost a decade, you know, it's going to be weird without him out there. And you do, Big Santana. You do have those skill sets. But, you know, it is a rumor anyway. I don't think Dallas Cowboys are going to trade for him. I don't think they're going to be interested in picking him up anyway. You know what I mean? It's just a rumor. No, this little off-season rumor, like I said, it's slow. You know, they got to attach, you know, a random player's name to the Dallas Cowboys to get some clicks. But, you know, I'm not against Cordarrelle Patterson either, though. You know what I mean? I think I like him overall as a player, but y'all might be right. We already got weapons. We got a Tony Pollard that can play wide out or can play running back. You got Turpin, you can move around the field and play as your primary kick returner. So I understand where y'all coming from. You know what I mean? I think a big factor is how Deuce is. If he can help right away, like Dak said, we may be just fine at running back. They're going to have to show me something, man. They're going to have to show me something. But yeah, hey, Thomas, I like that. He said, it's silly season. It is silly season. Yep, Cordarrelle Patterson is a gadget player. But, to be fair to him, he did look good running the ball. And he did have a season in 2021 where he had 11 total touchdowns from on the offensive side of the ball and 1,100 yards from scrimmage. So, I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player. But, like more y'all talk to me about it, we probably have enough kind of players like him on the team currently. We don't really have a sledgehammer, though. Mickey said, not gonna lie, I went to rewatch the San Fran game. I looked at Zeke like that was sad. And Mickey, if I'm not mistaken, that got you another entry. Didn't you see him fired the last time? I think you got another entry, Mickey. Let me know if I'm mistaken or not. Yeah, they did my boy bad, man. They did Zeke bad. They had him playing center on his last, on his last play as a Cowboy. It was horrible. It was horrible, man. It was horrible. All right, so Mickey, I'm finna add you in here. You now have 9 total entries, so salute to you. So Kellen Moore is never going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I don't care if he has Dak Prescott. I don't care if he has Justin Herbert. Hell, I don't care if he has Patrick Mahomes. With the way that he calls his offensive sets, where his wide receivers are sitting still, right? They're doing a bunch of comeback routes. They're doing a bunch of curls. They're playing in the middle of the field on little sit routes. That is not going to beat the best tackling defense in the National Football League. It's not going to cut it. He said, yeah, it was sad. The Miko Ryan has Kellen Moore's number. And watch. We're going to go out there and we're going to beat the 49ers week 5, week 4. We're probably going to beat them by like 10 points or so. And, you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the night and day difference in, running natural picks, in running high-low concepts, in running flood concepts. You're going to see the schematical advantage that the Dallas Cowboys are going to have. And then let's also keep it real. The Miko Ryan ain't there either. The Miko Ryans ain't there no more either. So, I think Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer can come up with an offensive game plan that can neutralize what the new defensive coordinator wants to do. Yep, neither one of them played well, but that also was on Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore wasn't giving them the ball. You can't play well against a team when you don't even give your players the opportunity to play well against the team. Hey, never apologize for being late, Big Ben and Rich. You came. You came through the doors, and that's all that really mattered, man. You came in, to get drunk on the content with your boy, and that's all that matters. So, yeah. So So let's go ahead and talk about this next little tidbit right here. Rojo was an all unsalted peanut signing. Y'all so damn. Why y'all like this? Why y'all like this? So peep this, man. Peep this. You see that boy, Brandon Cooks, looking like a mini Terminator. You see that boy, Jalen Tolbert, look like he done gained, significant muscle weight over the offseason. But, they out there training, getting their cardio in, getting prepared for the season, man. And you love to see it. You see Brandon Cooks, and Brandon Cooks has really taken these young dudes under his wings. They've been talking about how he's been spending so much time with Jalen Tolbert. He's been the perfect professional, helping the young guys develop, helping the young guys work out. They're all speaking so highly of Brandon Cooks right now, man, and what he brings to the table. Man, we're lucky to have him. Not just from a production standpoint, because I think he'll be close to a 1,000-yard receiver. I think he'll have between 800 and I think he'll have between about 800 and 1,000 yards, right? About 5, 6, 7 touchdowns. Right, Brandon Cooks is going to have a very good season. But from a leadership standpoint, right, from a big brother standpoint, being a guy that's been in the league for almost a decade, being a guy that still is training the right way, they're still doing film study the right way. They're still doing all these things to stay relevant in the NFL. That rubs off on young players. So, and Jalen Tolbert, shout out to Jalen Tolbert, friend of the show, of course. He's really been putting in the work. You could tell by his physique. You could tell by his demeanor. You could tell by the way, that he's been up under Dak Prescott or up under Brandon Cooks, the entirety of the offseason. Right? Yeah, you're right. And Amari Cooper did the same thing with CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper took CeeDee Lamb under his wings. So, it's always good, to reach one, teach one. Right? Reach one, teach one. So, you got a guy that's passing on, the tools of the trade to the next generation. That's one of the reasons why I think, that's one reason why I think he had the longevity that he's had, man. And one thing I do note about this picture, Brandon Cooks is a bigger human being than we give him credit for. Like he is a very solidly built dude. So, I think that's one of the reasons why he's been able to stay healthy. He's gained more muscle weight. He ain't really been having the concussions like he used to have. Like, that's a big boy to be trying to hit. And you're right. And listen, not only do I think there will be no excuse, I don't think we'll have time to get an excuse. Oh, no, Jalen Tolbert from the ball. Like, it's all set up for him. Outside of injury, right? Outside of him getting hurt and not being able to play, he's going to have a good season. I think that Jalen Tolbert is going to have a Cedric Wilson-like season. I think he'll have about 600 yards, 6 touchdowns in a limited role because you got all these other guys ahead of him. We're expecting him to be wide receiver 4, right? We're expecting Jalen Tolbert to be wide receiver 4. So I expect CeeDee Lamb to get more targets and more opportunities. I expect Brandon Cooks to get more targets and opportunities, and I expect Michael Gallup to get more targets and opportunities. So he is the next guy up. He is the next guy that I expect to, get the remaining carries and get those remaining targets. Yeah, they definitely giving him the game. His quarterback, been spending extra time with him. Brandon Cooks been spending extra time with him. I see no reason why Jalen Tolbert ain't gonna go crazy this year, man. And he got all the physical gifts, man. He got the height, he got the speed, the athleticism, he got a great catch radius. Like I'm really a fan of Jalen Tolbert's game, man. Like no lie. Like I was ecstatic when we signed the kid, when we drafted him. So I expect Jalen Tolbert to do great things this season, man. No lie, and not even just because we did an interview with him, he came on the show. Like y'all know, I was high on Jalen Tolbert even as a rookie. So now that he has competent play calling, he has a competent system, right? He has guys that took him under his wing. He's got bigger. He done fine-tuned his craft. I expect him to have a good season. And listen, I think Michael Gallup, as long as he stay healthy, is gonna have a good season too, man. Hey man, that's the new drip these days, man. That's new drips these days. I can't even knock them. I remember y'all folks used to be in bell bottles, man. Fashion, man. it's a mug. It's a mug, man. Sherelle Thompson said he better. He will. I believe in the kid. I believe in Jalen, man. So I done gave y'all about an hour of some premiere. Yeah, he has nowhere to go but up after last season. But we have reached the hour and 6 minute point of the podcast. So let's move to the Q&A for the show. Let's move into the Q&A. So y'all got questions? I'm pretty sure your boy Henny, has answers. So, if you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat box, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Yeah, friend of the show. Landlord had to remind me, hey man, when you have somebody on, you got to call a friend of the show. My boy funny, man. My boy funny as hell. So any Q&A, man. If you got questions, I got answers. He said all under the sticks. Yeah. Do you feel this O-line and run game can improve against top running defense? Yes. Because the Dallas Cowboys are moving to a zone run scheme, is going to give the running back multiple options of where to take the ball depending on how it is blocked up. Me and Jay Tuck actually touched on the zone run principles yesterday on our last show. So if you want to go take a look at that, it'll be good. It'll be a good look. So pretty much the offensive line is going to flow to certain areas of the field, and whoever is in their path is who's going to get blocked up. So that allows the running back to either go play side where the play is happening, the way that the running backs are going, or it will open up an opportunity for a cutback lane. So there will be zone run plays where the running back has like 4 options where to take the ball. There will be zone run plays where the running back has 2 different options to take the ball, 3. It's just really dependent on the setup of it. It depending if you're running, the inside zone. Usually inside zone, you just have 2 options. It depends on if you're running, stretch G or stretch C. Stretch G is where the guard is going to, zone, a couple gaps away, or the center in stretch C is going to zone a couple of gaps away. There's a bunch of different nuances to the zone run scheme. Who will have a better year, Hurts, Allen, or the chef in Denver? That's a tough one, honestly. Probably Josh Allen is probably going to have a better statistical season because he doesn't play anybody. Dolphins defense is really average, to me. I don't think the Patriots are going to get their offense resolved, so their defense is going to be on the field way too often. I don't really think. I don't know. That's a good question. Cause we know that Russell Wilson is going to play Patrick Mahomes twice, Justin Herbert twice. I mean, shit. We know that Hurts now going to have to play us and play the Giants twice, and it's hard. The Eagles got a hard schedule too, so I don't know. I'm gonna say Josh Allen, even though I think that he is overrated. I think he would have. I think Shotty would have beat them boys. But yeah, man, I done gave y'all good folks an hour 10 of some premium Dallas Cowboys content. I thank y'all for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. So on the way out, please continue to hit that like button. Please continue to hit that share button. Please continue to hit that Cash App, them super chats, them super stickers to get involved and get entered into the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. You said that means another year of Dak hate. Nah, I think Dak Prescott gonna have a better year than Josh Allen. But you know, they asked who will have a better year between Hurts, Allen, and Russell Wilson. I think Dak Prescott is going to be in the MVP conversation. I think Dak Prescott will be in the MVP conversation. But you know, I think Josh Allen is going to have a better statistical season than those other two guys. Just because Jalen Hurts, you know, we still got questions about how well he can throw the ball when he had to throw the ball, you know, a prolonged amount of times. He was like 14th or 15th or 16th or something like that in terms of passing attempts. So we didn't really see him throw the ball like that. But yeah, man, I thank y'all for the love. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Big Ben and Rich said he gonna run it back. Y'all do that. Run it back. Make sure excuse me, make sure y'all go back and take a look at me and Tuck show from yesterday. It was fire. We broke down West Coast schemes and zone run schemes. So y'all go take a look at that. You know, do a little film study, do a little scheme study. But thank y'all for the love, man. I will get at y'all later, man. Peace and God